नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानं जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वप्नदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथावितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखा।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण रक्षा माता जी।
रक्षा माता जी, कैन यू हियर?
I think
She is on
the screen is freezed.
Yes, yes. I think she has got internet issue.
Hare Krishna. What's up, Prabhu? Were you calling me, Prabhu?
No, no.
Meanwhile, she comes. Shall I start with the Guru Pranam?
Yes, 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 yes.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Hello, माता जी। अ, अच्छा, ठीक ठीक है, समता माता जी। I'll tell her. Okay, 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 okay. Samta Mata ji, you can start the kirtan. She has got some issues with the internet.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Him. Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्यत दिसतारिणि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन जमुनातीरा वनचारी जमुनातीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So this song is by Goswami Vallabhji. It's also called Abhilashtakam. It's the desire of a devotee. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada. इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले श्री धाम वृंदावन हो नव कुंज द्रुम सदन हो श्री धाम वृंदावन हो नव कुंज द्रुम सदन हो मोहन में मन मगन हो जब प्राण तन से निकले मोहन में मन मगन हो जब प्राण तन से निकले इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले श्री यमुना जी का पुलिन हो सुंदर खिला नलिन हो श्री यमुना जी का पुलिन हो सुंदर खिला नलिन हो किंचित न चित मलिन हो जब प्राण तन से निकले किंचित न चित मलिन हो जब प्राण तन से निकले इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले जन जोर पानी मांगे कब ऐसा भाग जागे जन जोर पानी मांगे कब ऐसा भाग जागे वल्लभ हो श्याम आगे जब प्राण तन से निकले वल्लभ हो श्याम आगे जब प्राण तन से निकले इतना तो करना स्वामी। जब प्राण तन से निकले मोहन में मन मगन हो। जब प्राण तन से निकले। हरे कृष्ण। थैंक यू सो मच प्रभु जी। दंडवत प्रणाम।
थैंक यू समता माता जी। धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
You can do your bhajan, Mataji. Sharad Prabhu ji.
वो टास्क 641 हो गया माता जी, चलेगा?
Okay.
ओके
नेक्स्ट
Okay,
टाइम प्रभु जी, डोंट वरी, नेक्स्ट वीक कर लूंगी।
ओके
फिर
ओके
वो लेट हो जाएगा ना फिर।
ओके यस यस नित्य सखी माता जी।
Hare Krishna. Dandat Pranam to all. Shri Grantaraj Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So today we are going through Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto and chapter 76 and 77, that is lesson 114. That is the battle between Shalva and Vrishnis and how Lord Krishna slays the demon Shalva. So before going in detail of this lesson 114, proceed for Mangalachara and then recap of lesson 113. So Shri Guru Pranam. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितानिश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीन इति नाम्ने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यां नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। For recap, we'll proceed on lesson 113. So, Duryodhana humiliated. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the wonderful. Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
प्रभु।
Prabhu. Hari Bol. Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Yes, we
यस
can hear
प्रभु
you.
जी,
Yes, Prabhu.
यस प्रभु।
Okay. 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, I think my speaker were down. Can you hear me now? Hare Krishna.
Yes,
यस प्रभु जी, वी आर
Yes,
एबल
Prabhu.
टू हियर।
We can hear.
Okay. The thing is, you all could hear me, I could not because my speakers were down. So I will just share the screen. Thank you, thank you. Screen. Yeah, it's okay. Hare Krishna re-roll. So we will do a recap of yesterday's session, which is lesson 113. Yeah, lesson 113, chapter 75, and the title of chapter is Duryodhan Humiliated. Right, and then there are two sections. One was the details of Rajaswi sacrifice, verses 1 to 30. And then the main portion of the chapter, which is in which Duryodhan was humiliated in King Yudhishthira's palace, that is verses 31 to 40. Right, so as Mataji walked us through, and Prabhuji's slides were there, we'll go through that and recap the structure with Prabhuji has put, which is the main theme and the philosophical reason behind that particular theme. Okay, so the first theme here is in the first section there are 6 philosophical themes from the whole chapter. We'll go one by one. The first chapter, so the whole chapter, I think in summary we all have heard many times, but to recap, this is Rajeshwar sacrifice being performed by King Yudhishthira, that is done successfully, completed, and then Duryodhan is going around the palace looking at the beauty. This palace is created by Maidana. It was created under the directions and by the order of Lord Krishna to Maidana so that he can gift it to Pandavas. So it's a beautiful architecture. Everything is very marvelous, and some of the things we cannot imagine in today's modern world, right? Like creating a false illusory water, which actually is illusion but looks like real water, which Duryodhan walks into and he falls down. And then um, Lord, everybody starts laughing. And then Krishna, he actually encourages everyone to laugh, which is what we discussed yesterday also. While Duryodhan wanted to constrain them, but Krishna encourages, and there is a theme here on the importance of laughter as well. So that also we'll see or recap. That's the key highlight of the chapter or the main theme or storyline. And then we went through each of the themes and went through in a deep. So first theme is the royal sacrifice, which was a sacrifice here, which is Rajaswi Yagya, and the rituals. So the question, let's say in this I have is, what is the importance of sacrifice such as the Rajaswi Yagya here, and what through this section, what does it tells us about Maharaj Yudhishthira?
Yudhishthira's unwavering dedications to Dharma and thus showing his leadership.
Yes, yes, right. So thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Yes. So the importance of sacrifice is highlighted over here. The main components of there, why he performed. One was because of unwavering dedication to Dharma, to fortify his leadership, to make sure his clients are. So once we are as a leader, as Mataji explained also here. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Are you saying anything? And then the main thing also is the his complete devotion to Lord, because his main theme was he wanted to do that so that he can establish that Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of God. So then that's one. Let's go to theme 2, which is embracing beauty and joy in relation. So what do we understand here? Why are relations, community, the celebration, on the festivities, why are they important? What did we understand from this section? Who wants to take and help respond to this?
Hare
Any
Krishna
answer?
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Prabhuji, you can go ahead.
Okay. So, embracing beauty and joy of a celebration. Celebration, that means more people are together, come as a community. And when we celebrate, when there is a religious or some ceremony that occurs, which benefits everybody, we come and celebrate. So it brings the community spirit together, that we are saying again and again in gopis, and through all that thing that has happened, we are seeing that. So again, so it basically establish as you celebrate with the community towards the divine, right? That is the nature, that is the process also given, and that keeps everybody happy, right? The purpose is served with that way.
Yes, correct, Prabhu. So even in today's day, like thank you, Prabhu, very nicely said. The spiritual or Vedic culture that teaches us about celebrating, but even in today's day, we see the modern, they say any simple project milestone or task achieved, we must celebrate. So celebrating together the victories, the joys, the event are very, very important to bring in the camaraderie, and then together we can proceed. As they say, success is never in isolation. It's always a collaborated affair. So we should collaborate and celebrate. Right? Okay. So next is envy and humiliation. Our main character today is actually main teacher today is Duryodhan, right? Through Krishna, like through Krishna's action and the Duryodhan response, he is teaching us. Actually, Duryodhan is teaching us what is the end result if we don't comply to Lord Krishna's plan. So, one of the sections we see here is Duryodhan is always into envy. He's envious of Yudhishthir. He's very much attached to his ego. Okay. So, what do you think are the results he gets of that, and what is the takeaway from here? If we continue to be in ego and envy and attachment, then what will be our result? What was Duryodhan's result at least?
Hare Krishna,
Attachment
Prabhu.
to ego,
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Attachment to ego and material wealth leads to suffering, and when one is envious, it gives him a public disgrace and isolation.
Correct. Thank you very much, Mataji. So that's what we see in Duryodhan case. He's so deceptive in nature. Thank you, Dipti Mataji. Deceptive in nature of appearance. He likes to hear only about himself, too much egoistic person. And then because of that, he is very much envious. And because of that envy, and especially envious to a devotee, and such a strong devotee, that got him into so much problem. Like we saw, public disgrace, isolation, suffering, right? And then he got bewildered, right? So he thinks that illusory water is real water. People try to make him understand, but he does not, and then he falls down. So this bewilderment also gives us some lesson. The Acharyas and yesterday Mataji also give us a very important lesson. What do we learn from this bewilderment of Duryodhan?
Yeah,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
I would like to add little more here, because
Yes,
this is
Prabhu.
the central theme, right? Envy and
Yes.
elimination. This
Yes,
is
Prabhu.
so here it is said that when you are, because he was anyway prince, right? So he has that all ego, and ego came from attachment, right, to his property. I am such a such, So even though he was given such a prestigious position of treasury, right? So collecting all the gold, such a highest position he was given, but being an envious guy, he never looked into that. That's one part. The enviousness, always cause harm to yourself. This is a very
Correct.
important word here.
Plus, yes.
It may happen to others, maybe less, but because that will depend on many other factors. But definitely, when you are envious of somebody else, the first impact is that you yourself are suffering to that, and that brings up here, right? And also that can bring down in the eyes of the public here disgrace, right? So he was against the Lord and the Pandavas, right? So he was absolutely in the wrong place, also envious in that, right? To the people who were dharma and who were supported by the Lord, and he was trying to become envious to them. It went to the extreme stage, right? On that. That's what I can
Yes.
see that.
Absolutely right. So you yourself are burning all the time, right? Burning
Yes.
of envy. That is the very
लाइक द
important.
कोल प्रभु जी,
Yes,
जैसे
yes.
कोलसा जलता है फिर वो अपने आप जलता रहता है, जलता रहता है, तो अगर जो एनवीएस है अंदर से जलता रहता है, जलता रहता है.
You know, Marathi mein there is a word, Niti Saka Mata is there. Chita ni chinta. Chita means that where you burn the body, and chinta, like Raksha Mata is saying, both burns, right? But once the body is okay, the body is anyway dead. But the chinta, it unnecessarily worries, and it doesn't do any good to you.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
That's
Correct.
very wonderful. Very wonderful. Thank you. Yes, very important. So that's what Duryodhan teaches us today. What he faced, how he lived throughout in envy. So the life of enviousness is actually very challenging. And then we have this all today's day. There is stress, there is chinta, and all that. So to come out of that, let us start not to have any envy. All the envy starts, as we covered yesterday also, is because we try to compete with the Lord. So let's try to fix that through the process of hearing Bhagavatam continuously. Right. So thank you, Prabhu. Let's continue. Then goes through this, and what happens here? Everybody is laughing at and creating fun of this situation of Duryodhan. So then Acharya teaches us some detour and what is the vital role of laughter in community, right? So the main purpose, like it's not like it's always to be serious and all. Not that we have to laugh at the expense of making fun of others, but here in general, there is a um, qualities of laughter in the community. Would someone like to take that and explain?
Laughter serves as a unifying force and a gentle reminder of our shared imperfections, suggesting that life should be approached with a spirit of levity and humility.
Correct. And then I just wanted to confirm what is the meaning of levity. Levity is even if there is a very, very serious matter, then you treat it with little bit of humor, so it will become light enough. It will keep you light enough. So that was the message here. And then Mataji also taught us yesterday in details about this. And then the second part is, suppose things happen to us, we are not being taken seriously and all, then the right course here is to be stay separation and to stay detached. But if we are not, if we are in too much attachment, okay, and we are not separated, then what is the situation that happen? What do we learn from the status of separation? Actually, I like this part myself, so I will just respond to it myself. So here it says that attachment will enrich our life, but they bring pain of separation. So the more attached we are to things, then anyway, one day we have to be separated from that, right? So we have to reduce our attachment to that. We have to learn through. And then Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, we have to use the sword of detachment. And then Prabhupada says, and Mataji also told, what is that sword? Actually, the sword of attentive hearing of Bhagavatam can be a very, very, very strong, potent, power to detach us. And then this will encourage anyway, because as we saw, the material world, everything is impermanent. So this will encourage to accept the impermanent. And this final line is so wonderful. It is always my Guru want to teach that we must have this deeper appreciation of present moment. So actually, if we think deeply, all we have is the current moment. The present moment is all we have. And this also is taught by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. His appearance day was day before yesterday, right? So his key, he says that future you never know, past is already gone. All you have is the present moment. So when we specifically chant on our rounds, we should focus on the current moment and do our best to attentively chant. And also when we are in this situation when we feel very stressed up, then also we can use this thought that okay, what has gone is gone, what has happened, I don't know. All I have this present moment. So let me do my best. And then, so that's my thought and understanding from yesterday's class. Anybody wants to add that?
Prabhuji,
Yes, Matan.
one more point is this point 6 is also kind of related to point 5. Because if you're too attached to the material world and yourself, then you don't, you cannot tolerate people laughing at you because the ego comes up. And hence they say, sometimes they say, our elders used to say that hasna hai, to first you laugh at yourself instead of laughing at others.
Yes.
Because you cannot when you laugh at others, obviously other people will feel bad. So when you laugh at yourself, then you realize, like, you know,
How what
better
they
you
do.
laugh first, like how they say, no, कि पहले दूसरों को point out करने से खुद का देखो. So similarly, so too much attachment to the material world and material body will only you know, we cannot take humor in a very light way.
Any examples from Bhagavatam, Mataji? We are now nearing 11th canto, right? There is a wonderful example there. We have spoke many times. There is a personality who took all the insults positively or with detachment. I think Charu Prabhu is writing, he mentioned that couple of times. It was his part of thesis also. Okay, I will do that. So that is a Brahman, Avanti Brahman, right? There's a chapter in 11th canto on Avanti Brahman. So very, very wonderful example. How he loses everything, then like, you know, how he reacts to that. People insult him, some urinate him, but still he is now learned the art of detachment and art of staying
प्रभु
in
जी
the
एक दूसरा भी एग्जाम्पल दे सकते हैं, विदुर जी का.
yes.
विदुर जी का इतना ह्यूमिलेशन हुआ, फिर वो तुरंत ही निकल गए घर से,
He took
मैं
that.
छोड़ के, मतलब अटैचमेंट नहीं था उनको इतना.
Correct.
No, Vidurji hai Vrishabh Dev bhi, right? At the end. Vrishabh.
Yes,
Rishabh,
sir.
yeah.
There are
Yes,
many
Prabhuji.
examples. Yeah.
प्रभु जी यहाँ पे ये जो आपने लास्ट लाइन बताई ना, डीपर एप्रिसिएशन फॉर द प्रेजेंट मोमेंट, तो उसके लिए भागवतम का एक बहुत अच्छा श्लोक है. यस्यावे शृणुमाणायाम कृष्णे परम पुरुषे भक्तिरुत्पद्यते पुंसा शोक मोह भयापः. अगर ये प्रेजेंट मोमेंट में रहेंगे तो शोक और भय से और मोह से मुक्ति मिलती है.
Exactly. Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Very wonderful point, Santa Mataji, Raksha Mataji, and all. So very wonderful connection and good takeaway. Okay, I think I have just few more minutes. So there's a lot to go. Let's see how much we can cover. So then next is Vishwanath Chakraborty Thakur also gives us 7 themes and their philosophical insight, which is what Prabhu has put here together for us. So let's see now, again continuing, this is about the attachment and humility and pride. So first we will delve upon this, the nature of relationship and duty. So there is a term prema bandhana, that's what we saw. Now, how will you compare? There are two main teachers here. One is Krishna, one is Duryodhana. They both teach us something. Now, Krishna's powerful character is there and it symbolizes one aspect, and Duryodhana's opposite aspect is being also mentioned here. Anybody wants to summarize that? What is the difference in behavior of Krishna and Duryodhana here?
Krishna being Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Yes,
Krishna being the supreme personality of Godhead, he was so humble that he received the persons by washing their feet. But Duryodhana was very egoistic and envious. That was the contrasting character given here.
Correct. Absolutely, Mataji. And then the true strength is in humility, right? That's what Lord Krishna teaches us. If we are humble, then...
Excuse me, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
This every report.
Yes,
First of all, I apologize for being a little late. I got tomorrow deadline to finish my essay, you know. Okay, anyway, there's a there's an important information that we need to know. Do you know the Duryodhan is an incarnation of who?
Ali.
Kali.
Yes, correct. So all the damn things about Kali Yuga is represented in that, jealousy, envy, all these things, uh, and thinking about oneself only, selfish nature. There is the hallmark, a hallmark of Kali Yuga that he presents.
Okay, that's
So the only way to protect yourself in Kali Yuga, when all the great terrible things are there in Kali Yuga, but in 12th canto there is a verse which says there is one good quality of Kali Yuga is there. What is that? There's one good quality.
Harinam.
Chanting, Vaiji.
Yes, एक दो बात एक्चुअली. एक तो कलयुग में unless you do something, you commit an act, you don't get the reaction. But in Satyuga and earlier yugas, even mentally thinking something bad, you get reactions. So in Kali Yuga, you don't get reaction unless you actually commit it. So you really have so much time to really help yourself to not make that kind of terrible errors in life, and second thing is that all the great tapas and all these things that they had to do it in previous yuga, in Kali Yuga is simply chanting the holy name, especially helpful in Sankirtana Yajna, collective chanting and dancing for the Lord. That is really very, very effective.
Yes, Prabhu. And that's the key thing here as well. That's nature
प्रभु
of
जी इसका
relationship.
श्लोक बहुत अच्छा है. कली
Yes, ma'am.
दोषे निधे राजन अस्ति एको महान गुण कीर्तना देव कृष्ण से मुक्त संग परम रजे.
That's the verse I was meaning. I was hinting that
Yes,
it's in the
Prabhu.
12th. It's in the 12th canto. We'll be seeing that.
12:351.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. We have a very strong Brahman among us. Thank you, Rakshamataji. Very nice. Very nice. So that was the point. Relationship, which is Lord Chaitanya also teaches us communal endeavors, means congregation chanting, right? So that is the power in this yuga, and that will keep us away from this attachment, envy, and give us the humility and attachment, the right sort of attachment to chanting of the holy name. Then again, we delve a little bit more on pride versus humility. So, why is Krishna's washing the feet is a powerful symbol of humility? Because the Krishna's washing feet is a powerful symbol. Like he himself being, as Mataji said, Dipti Mataji, he is a supreme personality of Godhead, but he bows down to the sages, washes their feet. That is an indication of humility, right? So this also tells us how attachment to self breeds isolation and suffering. This is what happened to Duryodhana. Okay, so we'll continue. Now, next we have the joy in participation. So here we see that there are so many festivities, okay, and then what we learn from here is spirituality does not only mean doing only tapasya, staying alone. Yeah, that is an important aspect, but spirituality also includes celebration. It is also being together and celebrating and relishing what we have got, although it may be ephemeral. Okay, so I'm walking through quickly. So how do we understand that? We see through this passage where and the past time, like how the relative, the husband, wife, and all the kings, they come together and then they celebrate this event, which is the Rajaswi Yagya of Yudhishthira Maharaj. And they do it not because of obligation, but also more because of their love for Yudhishthira Maharaj. So when we have that love among the devotees, then whatever we do will take us to or increase. It will give us the benefit of spirituality, and also it will give us joy. Okay. Then the next theme here is contrast of purity and impurity. Very clearly, we see how if the mind is pure, and Srila Prabhupada also said, purity is power, right? So, how to leverage these events like this and purify our heart, and through that purification, the final stage is doing a special ritual, which is taking a bath, or like doing an intense yajna and all. The final stage is purification, and how do we use that purification to feel joyful and harmony, and then increase our devotion to the next level. So I'll just read this as it is. Pure-hearted experience joy and harmony, affirming philosophical tenet that spiritual advancement require cultivating clear mind and noble intention, thereby deepening one's connection with the divine. Right. So through that purity of heart, and which will come from following the uh, instructions given to us by our spiritual masters, our Vaishnavas, and then we get that power to continue. Right? The next section, completion of sacrifice, which is our breath of bath our breath bath during the celebration. So what did we learn from that? Okay, now let me take this as a question. So what do you guys think? How does this, we learn a very important point over here, that spiritual growth is not linear but cyclical, right? We covered that yesterday also, and that is through the our breath bath ceremony. How do we understand that? Like, what is your view? How do we understand that spiritual growth is not linear but cyclical? Can someone explain that aspect? Yeah. Is Prashad Prabhu here today? We have not heard from him yet. It's not there. Okay.
Okay,
Well,
Prabhuji, I will go ahead.
yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Okay. So it is linear. That means you start chanting, everything goes up and up. It's not how it will have a back and forth. Very nicely summarized here. It shows that those with the great importance should conclude with the process of purification to ensure that energy generated is harnessed in the positive manner. So there will be ups and downs as you move on the path. It will not be linear. That's what I mentioned. People expect chant 16 round and everything will disappear from your, all anarthas, everything will go, and Lord will be worshipful to you. No, it doesn't happen. We go through a cyclic, and it's a gradual, and it's a it's a gradual process, and every step, very nice words, it's a purification happens, right? So we may be making mistake, but we have to look at the positive aspects of that, because negative things will do come as anartha, they will disappear, right? So we should have that cognizance of that is the process. And in this case, also, I think Amrita Bath, that means I think mother told yesterday, right? Because the killing happened, so right, and just to get clean of that, so there was a special process at the end. That's what I can understand from that also.
Yes, sir. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. So I will move very quickly now. So that was a key learning, and thank you for clarifying. And then similar tied to that, the role of ritual and community. I think we covered some sections in the past. There is this specific ritual called Patni Samyajya. That was Samyajya. That was also a highlight. And then the communal aspect of Rajeshwara. So basically coming together, performing Sankirtan for today and purifying ourselves, and then the growth may not be linear, but it will be cyclical depending on what we learn, and that's our path. So thank you, Prabhu. Then what we have here is again this particular section which highlights about the glories of King Yudhishthir. Once again, how great of devotee he is. He worshipped the priest to show that humility is very, very important aspect to receive the divine grace. So humility is reiterated again and again, and then we have this wonderful verse from Shikshashtakam also, that all the Vaishnava Acharya says that we must tie as a necklace in our heart and continuously Trinadapi Sunishina, Tarorapi Senina. So that is about humility. Then next section we have envy and broken pride. Right? So Matsarya and Atapanat. Right? So Duryodhan went through this emotional turmoil, which is called in Sanskrit Vishakta Hridaya. So why? Because of all his false pride. That is what caused him to face this situation, and then he had this envy against a great devotee. So that was the corrosive impact of arrogance and jealousy, right? So that's what Duryodhana taught us today through the result he got. Then illusion and reality, Maya and bewilderment means whatever you see, because we are in a conditioned state. So what we see, we have to be very, very careful. What our acharya, we have to be very careful and take the shelter of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra in every aspect of life when we are stuck. So otherwise, there is a lot of aspect or lot of possibility that we may fall down to illusion and get away from reality. Okay. Then divine guidance and support of Krishna as Swachakshu. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was always under guidance of Krishna. I like this statement, what Prabhuji put together here. Krishna as Yudhishthira Eye, steering him towards actions that are just and beneficial. So Krishna became the eyes of Yudhishthira and he guided him to action that are just and beneficial. And also it was mentioned that in our own life we will see how Lord Krishna has, like Archana Mataji mentioned another day, like how Lord Krishna has walked us and saved us from many, many dangers, specifically, which would have led us to completely go away from Krishna consciousness. Finally, the role of laughter and humiliation. We also took a look at that what Duryodhan faced was inspired by Krishna mainly because of his pride, arrogance, jealousy. But overall, there is an aspect of laughter when we come together to have a light and memorable moment. Okay, so that's where we end. We'd like to stop here. Thank you very much for carefully listening and responding. All these
प्रभु
questions
जी
were
एक
covered.
पॉइंट आता है यहाँ पे कि
Yes,
ये
Mataji.
इंसिडेंस हुआ उसकी वजह से दुर्योधन का और एनवीएस बढ़ा क्योंकि
Yes,
ये फ्यूल का काम किया ये इंसिडेंट ने
correct.
तो और ज्यादा उसने अपने आप में एनवीएस और डाली है
Krishna wanted to achieve his goal, so and Duryodhana had this already, that inherent quality. He did not want to give up. So yes, Mataji, perfectly right. Okay, if no other point, thank you all, and then we give to Nityasaki Mataji to take this further. Right.
Very beautifully done, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam, His Grace Charichandra Prabhuji, His Grace Sharat Prabhuji, and all dear devotees. Yeah, so today we are going through lesson 114, 10th canto, chapter 76 and chapter 77. So may I get the help for the display today? Yeah, so this lesson 114, it includes the two chapters, chapter 76 and chapter 77. Chapter 76 is about the battle between Shalv and Vrishnis. Yeah, and the chapter 77 is about, it is 114, Prabhuji. Lesson 114. Yeah, Lord Krishna, the chapter 77 is how Lord Krishna slays the demon Shalv. So, in first half, we'll see that there are 33 verses from the chapter 76, and there are 37 verses from chapter 77. So, yesterday we saw lesson 113, how Duryodhana humiliated, and His Grace Bhagavad Seva Prabhuji had just narrated in question answer session and in discussion how Duryodhana was humiliated and the details of Rajsuya sacrifice and how envious Duryodhana was humiliated in the palace of Yudhishthir Maharaj. So we saw that. And now today we'll proceed for lesson 114, the battle between Shalv and Vrishnis. So The slide is getting displayed soon. Yeah, first we'll see the background. Who is Shalva? Yeah, the same PPT. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, Shalva was the king of Shaubha kingdom, and so was bearing the Shaubha plane, the flying machine, the airplane, the special airplane which was granted and gifted by Lord Shiva after tapasya, after the penances by Shalva. He is also known for the antagonist of Lord Krishna, as Lord Krishna had killed his very dear friend, that is Shishupal, and later we'll see that his friend Dantavakra was also killed by Lord Krishna. So Shishupal was beheaded by Lord Krishna with his Sudarshan disc, and from Rukmini Swayamvar also, the King Shalva was jealous with Lord Krishna. So the theme is that there are 6 themes for this chapter 76. That Shal begged Lord Shiva for a flying machine. Okay, so as he was about to destroy Yadu dynasty, and so as to have the revenge over Vrishnis, okay, he went through a huge tapasya, and he used to eat just um, a mutti bhar mitti. Okay, so uh, for a year, okay, for a year, this particular penance and for this renunciation, he did it so as to achieve and so as to defeat Lord Krishna. And as we saw, it was the Rajasuri Yagya of Yudhishthir Maharaj, which happened, and where in Agra Puja, Shishupal was beheaded. And after that, Lord stayed at Indraprastha for about a year. And just to take care of Dwarika, as Shishupal was killed. So Lord Krishna had thought that, yes, now the friends of Shishupal will do something over Dwarika. So Balramji and the rest, um, that is Samba and Pradyumna, they went to Dwarka. And meanwhile, okay, so the Shalva takes the advantage of the situation as Lord Krishna was not there. Okay, and yeah, so this is particular episode how Shalv invaded Dwarka and how Pradyumna tries to defend it. Okay, and so it is the glorification of Pradyumna, who is no other than the incarnation of Lord Krishna, and the community itself, that is Vrishnis. Okay, so the first part, that is, uh, in a summary, shall beg Lord Shiva for a flying machine that could go anywhere and that would strike terror into the hearts of demigods, demons, and humans alike. So Lord Shiva had Maidano construct for Shalva a flying iron city named Shobha. The giant, very huge Shobha airplane, the flying machine, it was granted by Lord Shiva to Shalva. So from Shalva, Shalva bombarded Dwarka with tree trunks, bolters, and other missiles and torrential weapons, and he produced a mighty whirlwind that covered and that blanketed the all Dwarka city. Okay, so how it was defended by Vrishnis, the chapter it narrates about. Okay, so this particular city or this flying machine, okay, of Shobha, so it was created by Maidana with his assistant, and it was specially made so as to defeat Vrishnis and Yadu dynasty. Okay, so it was such a powerful flying machine, and it was taken advantage by Shalva so as to attack Dwarka. So the first part is the power of worship and devotion. We'll see how Shalva he gets granted and gets gift from Lord Shiva. So Shalva's profound devotion to Lord Shiva, exemplified by his extreme austerity and penances of subsiding on mere dust, underscores the extraordinary potential inherent in genuine worship. So it illustrates the belief that intense devotion can unlock significant spiritual rewards, as evidenced by Lord Shiva bestowing upon him a formidable flying machine. Furthermore, it prompts a deeper inquiry into the nature of passion and its capacity to yield both constructive and destructive outcomes contingent upon the devotee's true intention. So, as Shalva, who is a treacherous king, who is deceitful, who is cunning one. Okay, so obviously, his mood is a destructive one, and to attack Yadus, isn't it? So, as he was jealous, and even though this gift it was a greater gift from Lord Shiva, but the intention behind the use of this grant it was not proper, and so the true intention it is very important. So worship and devotion as demonstrated by Shalva's austerity serves as a transformative force within various spiritual traditions. The potency of concentrated devotion capable of generating both positive and negative results inspires us to reflect upon the essence of spiritual practice. So, this prompts contemplation on the possibility of devotion being directed towards self serving ends, thereby illuminating the inherent duality of spiritual power. Then the second is out of six themes. The second is about illusion and reality. So, what illusion? So, here the clarity and wisdom they are very important. It symbolizes and what it fosters is the critical thinking and profound self reflection. So, the battle between Shalva and Rishnis it showcases the utilization of illusory magic, the power of Shalva ultimately vanquished by Pradyumna, how it was overcome by Pradyumna. And this theme reveals the philosophical concept that reality can be obscured by illusions. Okay, so it was the illusory power which was used by Shalva and how it was overcome by Pradyumna and Lord Krishna. So whether through tangible manifestations or mental delusions, so this can be overcome with reality. So Pradyumna's capacity to pierce through these deceptions symbolizes the vital role of clarity and wisdom in surmounting life's challenges. So illusion can be overcome by reality. So illusion versus reality, as it has been illustrated in this particular event of Shalva. Shalva's deceptive tactics forms a bedrock in many philosophical systems. So it serves as a powerful metaphor for the misleading nature of the material world. So here, Shalva represents the illusory person and likewise is the material world created by him. Okay, so we'll see the several tactics and deceitfulness of this particular Shalva king. We'll see, and it tells about the nature of material world, where appearances may distort true perceptions. Okay, so Pradyumna's discernment in recognizing these illusions emphasizes the importance of wisdom and insight in navigating life's complexities. So, how smartly it was handled by Pradyumna, and this theme encourages us to seek the deeper truths beyond mere visual facades. Many times we just see superficially, okay, but one should navigate till the bottom deeply and fostering critical thinking and profound self reflection. Okay, so yes, these two themes. Next slide. Then third theme talks about the courage and valor in battle. So yes, the courage so as to inculcate the profound sense of duty and responsibility and yes, it should imbibe the justice and righteousness. Okay, so the Yadavad, who are the Vrishnis or the heroes, particularly their leader Pradyumna, who was leading this particular battle, exemplifies unwavering bravery and exceptional skills when faced with insurmountable odds. So it was so uncertain situation. Okay, so there are such odd situations, and in that, how he faced this particular situation, and it celebrates the virtues of courage and heroism, reflecting how the noble warrior should be, and it is found in this text. So it reveals about the true valor which transcends sheer physical prowess and embodies the moral imperative of safeguarding a community and upholding dharma. So he led forward so as to safeguard, so as to protect his community, Dwarkavasis, and uphold righteousness, so as to establish dharma. So this profound sense of duty and responsibility he had, and it forms a cornerstone of this narrative. So, how he is a great warrior, it has been proven here, and how he establishes righteousness or dharma. So, he is courageous. Courage is revered as a quintessential virtue across diverse intellectual traditions, embodying the struggle against fear and adversity. Okay, so as to face such a challenging situation. So courage is there, and that has been required right at the bottom. So this portrayal of Pradyumna as a valiant warrior underscores the interpretation that genuine courage extends beyond physical might. So it also demands moral integrity and a commitment to protect others. So this theme invites reflection on the ethics of conflict and responsibilities of individuals, wielding power, emphasizing that justice and righteousness should guide acts of valor. Okay, so these acts of valor were shown and displayed by Pradyumna in this particular incidents. So the consequences of actions. So what Shalva. hmm, He has to go through with such invasion, with such attack on Dwarka. What consequences of actions he is going to face? That is the cycles of violence, and whether to go through the cycles of those violence or whether to go for healing and renewal. Okay, so I think this next option, that is healing and renewal, is always the better one rather than going through the cycles of violence. So, Shalva's vow for vengeance against Yadavans, stemming from his previous defeat, illustrates how past grievances can propel individuals toward destructive paths. So, the repercussions of one's actions reveal the ongoing cycle of vengeance and conflict. So, this theme compels us to reflect on the vital significance of forgiveness. Rather than going through the cycles of violence, one should accept forgiveness and the potential for redemption, challenging us to break free from the shackles of violence. Okay, so we do see here how Shalva had fight with Bhishma Dev when he wanted to have the hand of Amba, and it was in self declared marriage ceremony. Okay, and how he fought with Bhishma Dev. Okay, so then he was he was in he was antagonist for the marriage of Rukmini Devi. Okay, so now their kids so much grown up, but still you see the animosity, it is so huge after so many years also. So it is the chain of violence, isn't it? So he has kept with him. So rather than he should have forgiven, and he would have been freed from the chain of violence. It is a concept of karma which has been rooted, as we know. It is there in our Vaishnava philosophy also. It encapsulates the fundamental truth that our actions bear consequences that shape our future experiences. So it has been told, yeah, every action has got an equal and opposite reaction. So how you sow is that it will reap accordingly. So Shalva's relentless pursuit of vengeance epitomizes how unresolved grievances can perpetuate a cycle of conflict and suffering. Okay, and this killing of Shishupal, it has triggered again his mood and this particular cycle of violence, as in this example. And it invites the serious contemplation on the moral implications of our actions and emphasizes the crucial role of forgiveness and reconciliation. So it underscores that individuals possess the agency to determine their responses to past injustices, which can either perpetuate cycles of violence or pave the way of healing and renewal. Okay, so even it has been take away a message to all Vaishnavas, yeah, as to follow what. So, so the fifth and sixth theme for this, in a conclusion, yeah, um, leadership. The fifth theme is leadership and responsibility, and the sixth theme is divine intervention and fate. So leadership of Pradyumna and how he displayed his collective responsibility so as to protect a community. So his leadership skills, they are, yeah, okay, how they were displayed. Yeah, so they are so caring for Yadus. Okay. So Pradyumna's experience, particularly when he's sidelined during the battle due to a misunderstanding, accentuates the intricacies of leadership. So as he was attacked and he was sideways and he was taken away from the battlefield, and when he gets up, so he comes to know that he is away from the battlefield, and he says to the son of Daruka, his charioteer, so to take him to the battlefield, and again he displays, yeah, his subsequent reprieve and of his chariot driver exemplifies his leadership acumen and the imperative for leaders to remain vigilant and engaged, to be cautious, and thereby highlighting the necessity of awareness and decisiveness in leadership roles. So, in this particular position, being a leader, okay, as he gets to know that he's away from the battlefield, what might be happening with Rishn is okay. So he was so caring, and he gets aware that, and he has to go and he should be there on the battlefield. He decides to go, and accordingly orders chariot driver. So dynamics of leadership portrayed in this narrative illuminate the complexities of authority and accountability. So Pradyumna's experience reflects the considerable burdens accompanying leadership. So, where decisions can yield far reaching consequences. So, this theme fosters a philosophical exploration of ethical leadership, emphasizing the need for awareness, empathy, not sympathy but empathy, and the capacity to learn from errors. So so this particular chapter can be a session to the leaders, isn't it? Political leaders, the corporate position managers. Okay, so how one should be so caring underneath their staff, they should be caring. And additionally, it raises important questions about the role of followers in supporting their leaders and the collective responsibilities of a community. So, how it has been displayed by Pradyumna is leadership skills and how he had taken up responsibility. It has been explained very well. Then, divine intervention and fate. So even though we do feel we do have desire, okay, but the mercy of Lord and destiny, okay, so what it might be there, we may not know many times. So the presence of divine figures such as Lord Shiva alongside the extraordinary powers of Pradyumna highlights the profound theme of fate and divine intervention. So this exploration raises critical philosophical questions. To what extent can we truly shape our destinies, and is there an inescapable path laid out for each individual? So, thereby, one cannot help but wonder about the intricate balance between human efforts and divine will, suggesting that while we can pursue success through our own efforts, the ultimate outcomes may still be orchestrated by higher forces. Even though we do desire it, but it may not be the will of Lord for our betterment. Okay, so Lord might have thought the better solutions for overcoming such problems. So we cannot predict. Okay, so how Lord may orchestrate it. So it is the higher power which decides. So The dynamic interplay between divine intervention and human efforts is a recurring motif in numerous philosophical and spiritual traditions. So, the actions of Lord Shiva, coupled with unfolding of events influenced by grand cosmic forces, illustrate that while we may strive to assert control over our lives, there is an undeniable beauty and mystery in how events unfold beyond our comprehension. So, with such a what you can say such indriyas which has got limited capacities and potential, how we can predict. So this particular theme prompts profound reflections on the nature of fate and free will, urging us to consider the extent to which our lives are shaped by our choices versus external influences. Moreover, it suggests that surrendering to a higher power can be a profound source of strength, particularly at the moments of uncertainties. Okay, so one should surrender to Lord. Okay, so as to get the shelter, one should pray to the Lord so as to overcome such devastating situations. So this particular six themes, okay, so it is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary to this chapter. It represents, next slide please, uh, the several profound thematic elements along with their insightful philosophical implications that resonate powerfully with the teachings of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Okay, so there are five themes, and out of that, first two, that is divine play, that is Leela of Lord, and then illusion and realization. The illusion of material existence and realization that the true nature. Okay, so what is ultimate? It is the Lord. Okay, so how if spiritual life is there, the ignorance can be covered with the faith and devotion. So the divine play or lila, it talks about which leads uh, to the devotees so as to follow a profound devotion and get established the ever deepening love with the divine. So Krishna's combat encounters as part of a divine symphony illustrates the belief that even conflict can inspire spiritual awakening, isn't it? So such uh, obstacles, they are taken as an opportunities and the challenges by Lord, and similarly, so as to progress in our spiritual path. Okay, so all these encounters one can consider as the stepping stones on this particular spiritual path and the blessings and mercy of Lord Krishna. As we know, Kunti Maharani's prayers also. So, Pradyumna's recognition of Krishna's playful essence reveals the potential for all worldly events to lead to profound devotion. So, at the heart of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, there is a concept which lies is the concept of divine play or lila. So it underscores that the Lord's actions, regardless of their context, including battles, transcend mere physical confrontation, and each act is enveloped in a deeper spiritual narrative. So Krishna's playful engagement with the world serves not only to captivate his devotees, but also to cultivate an ever deepening love for the divine. Okay, so the divine play, the word Leela is only used for the um, plays of Lord Krishna, and even bhakti. So many times we do see people call it as desh bhakti, rashtra bhakti. Okay, so bhakti, the devotion, this particular word, it also relates to only for Lord Krishna. So many times the people, they do get confused and use the word bhakti anywhere. Okay, but it is not like that. So devotion and bhakti, they are just to serve Lord Krishna. So the second theme, it is about illusion and realization. So how illusory ways they were used by Shalva and what is the real one, and how yeah, it was defended. How illusion, it was defended by reality. So the charioteer's failure to recognize Pradyumna's invulnerability exemplifies how material perception can shackle spiritual understanding. So, this theme underscores the necessity of transcendental knowledge, the torch of transcendental knowledge, empowering practitioners to transcend the illusions of the material existence. So, the second one, that is illusion, yeah, it is the battle between illusion and reality. And here we will see that how reality overcomes illusion. So the narrative illustrates the concept of Maya, the illusion, through the experiences of Pradyumna charioteer, who is blind to Pradyumna's eternal spiritual form. So this ignorance is artfully woven into the divine plan, enhancing the excitement of the battle and prompting the ultimate realization of true nature. So next slide, please. Jean. The third theme out of five themes, devotional relationships, that is bhakti. Thank you. Yeah. Um, it is bhakti which leads to attain the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, and how Lord manifests in varieties of ways. So bhakti is the foundation to the Gaudiya Vaishnavism tradition, and it highlights the relational dynamics between devotees and the divine sambandha. So even misguided actions born from love can guide one towards a deeper comprehension and ultimately leads to liberation. So the relationships portrayed in the narrative, especially the charioteer's affection for Pradyumna, underscore the profound importance of bhakti or devotion. So the devotion displayed by the charioteer, despite his oversight, powerfully illustrates that love for the Lord manifests in myriad ways. So the nature of the spiritual body, it talks about, yeah, it captures about a profound attachment to the spiritual, and one can understand that, yeah, it is eternal and indestructible. This theme captures the essence of Gaudiya philosophy that Atma or soul transcends physical suffering and death, a foundational teaching within Bhagavad Gita. So, recognizing this distinction fosters detachment from the material and a profound attachment to the spiritual. So this particular narrative, it underscores the stark distinction between spiritual and material aspects of existence. So Pradyumna's spiritual body is not material body, is it is spiritual body impervious to material weapons, and all these are the illusory weapons. So it embodies Gaudiya Vaishnava conviction that it is eternal and indestructible essence of the soul. Next slide, please. The fifth theme is about, yeah, the divine play Leela in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Okay, the obstacles are reframed as essential catalysts for deepening faith and devotion. So Pradyumna's exasperation with the charioteer embodies the emotional struggles we all face. Yet these very challenges fortify his determination and resolve within the spiritual battle. Okay, so the role of charioteer, it has been also important as we see, and how he was in illusion that Pradyumna is just like an ordinary person, but now he realizes that he is none other than the incarnation of Lord. So the challenges and tribulations faced by Pradyumna, including his temporary withdrawal from the battlefield, remind us of the trials inherent on the spiritual journey. Okay, such experiences are not merely obstacles. They serve as vital opportunities for growth and realization, instilling, building more strength to be resilient and hope in the hearts of devotees. Okay, so they such incidences makes us stronger, isn't it? The way like gold, it is being treated with so much of high temperature, and then it shines. So similarly, the one who goes through the penances, okay, in the austerities and in the devotional path, okay, so one day will achieve um, the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Okay, so get that particular maturity and wisdom in decision making, so as to have the leadership qualities and sustain accordingly, so as to serve the community. So the conclusion part from this particular chapter 76 is the thematic elements which we have discussed now. So these are articulated and which exhibits the galore of philosophical insights. They are aligned seamlessly with Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So each theme reinforces a cornerstone of the tradition, illuminating the dynamic interplay between divine play, the awakening of spiritual truths, the essence of devotional relationships, and the eternal significance of the soul. So together they encapsulate the essence of bhakti and the transformative journey of the devotee, inspiring individuals to pursue a deeper understanding of the divine. So some similarly one is required to inquire about Lord Krishna and so as to lead this particular spiritual path. So here it is this particular chapter, it talks about the battle, how situational things in Bhagavatam. Okay, and Prabhuji has um, drawn the abstract from all this and tried to exhibit in such a way that this can be applied in our material day-to-day lives or in as well as in profession also. So hats off for this particular presentation, Prabhuji, for this particular chapter. And then we'll move towards the next chapter, 77. So still we have, okay. Then now in the picture is Lord Krishna who arrives and how he hits with his Sudarshan disc and kills demon Shalva. Prabhuji, we still need a PPT, the same PPT. It can be continued further. Okay, so there are 37 verses from this chapter 77. Okay, so this particular chapter 77, it narrates about the battle between Lord Krishna and demon Shalva. As we are told just now, yeah, Lord Krishna was at Indraprastha after Rajasuya Yagya, and uh, it was a time, yeah, and Lord Krishna was not there in Dwarika, and he, as he's Trikaladarshi, he had intuition also, and accordingly exhibits the Leela with Rushnis and Yadus and bestows Pradyumna also. And now he arrives and so as to defeat Shalva. So it illustrates the theme of determination, strategic planning, and the power of persistence in the face of adversities. So, this epic narrative can serve as a rich source of inspiration for all of us in our daily lives. It encourages individuals to face challenges head on with the courage and wit. So, as to be courageous and so as to face the everyday challenges in such a way that and under such situation, adversities also, one can remain determined, okay, plan accordingly, okay, and with persistence and with patience, one can lead ahead. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. So this particular chapter, it includes 5 themes. 37 verses are there. The first theme is the nature of deception and illusion, that is Maya. Okay, so how is Maya? So this particular battle by Shalva is just Mayavi, isn't it? And it the created his flying machine, the way his appearance and disappearance in battlefield, and okay, and how he cheated with Lord Krishna for Vasudevji and with Devki he cheated. Okay, so the nature of deception and such illusion, that is Maya, it has been explained well. So Shalva heralded as the master of deception. Okay, is treacherous, cunning, deceitful. It personifies Maya, the illusory force that entraps souls in the material realm, a central tenet in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. His creation of illusions such as counterfeit Vasudeva, the father of Lord Krishna, starkly illustrates the deceptive nature of material existence that diverts the soul from realizing its true spiritual identity. So many times we do also get okay, prey of Maya, isn't it? So if we one time we do feel that every day get up early, do chant. Okay, the other mind says that no, no, no. Okay, there is a full day you can chant in the evening. Okay, so that is been also possible. So likewise, Maya Devi tries to take us away from our spiritual path. So it is her duty to do that way. Okay, so Maya is viewed as a powerful force that leads souls astray from their divine connection with Krishna. Okay, so the intense struggle against Shalva symbolizes the soul's fight against these distractions. So Krishna's omniscience in seeing through such deception underscores the vital need for divine guidance as one navigates life's illusions, emphasizing the profound importance of seeking clarity amongst these chaos and adversities, confusions. So the role of devotion and surrender. So one should surrender to Lord Krishna so as to seek his mercy in this particular devotional journey. So this particular narrative underscores the transformative power of devotion and the necessity of surrendering to the Lord as exemplified by the Yadu heroes and Devaki's messenger. So their heartfelt appeals exemplify the Krishna reliance on divine intervention during tumultuous times. So surrendering to Krishna is indispensable for any spiritual aspirant. So the actions of the Yadu heroes reveal that true strength is born not from personal might but from devoted service to the divine. So, this theme inspires devotees to cultivate humility and recognize their dependence on Krishna's boundless mercy. Okay, so rather than fighting, okay, what is the essence is to surrender to Lord Krishna and to be on this particular path of the spiritual life. Okay, the next slide. Third theme is the victory of dharma over dharma. So dharma over adharma. So obviously dharma wins over adharma. So Satyameva Jayate Prabhuji has written well. So dharma always wins. So the epic clash between Krishna and Shal encapsulates the eternal battle between dharma, righteousness, and adharma, that is unrighteousness. So Krishna's triumphant victory heralds the restoration of cosmic order. So in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Krishna incarnates to protect the virtues and vanquish the wicked. So paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. So this chapter powerfully illustrates that despite the trials posed by adharma, so divine intervention guarantees the victory of righteousness. So the jubilant celebration among the demigods following Shalva's defeat, after Shalva's death, it captures the elation of the cosmos when justice prevails. So, reinforcing the timeless truth that good always wins over evil. So, good ultimately triumphs over evil. So, always to follow the path of righteousness, it has been established, and it is a desire of Lord Krishna, and we should also align our desires in such ways. So, the transcendental nature of Krishna, it is the fourth theme. Yeah, so the depth of compassion we do see with Lord Krishna and how he is connected with his devotees' lives. So, Krishna's remarkable ability to unveil the truth behind Shalva's illusion showcases his transcendental essence. His sorrow over the counterfeit kidnapping of Vasudeva is none other than a supreme personality of Godhead, but still in love with his community for a while. Okay, but he realized that he is not Vasudev, and it is such an illusion created and cheating behavior of Shalva. He gets to know, and he immediately kills that deceitful person who was Vasudev. Okay, so despite his divine stature, reveals the profound depth of his compassion. So, in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Krishna stands as the supreme personality of Godhead, yet he engages in deeply affection with his devotees. His seemingly vulnerable moments highlight the intimate and personal nature of divine love. So, this intriguing duality emphasizes that while Krishna transcends the limitations of the material world, he fully immerses himself in the emotional landscape of his devotees' lives. So he himself tries to be there in the life of devotees. So it is so pleasing to hear, isn't it? So the fifth theme is the nature of deception and illusion. So this particular chapter it explores about the theme of friendship and loyalty through the character Dantavakra who vows to avenge Shalva's death. Okay, now next animosity it has spawned, and it is none other than Dantavakra, who is incarnation of Shishupal and Dantavakra, who were incarnation of Jay and Vijay. So now it is his close friend, who's Shalva's friend now, Dantavakra, is going to rise up and who vows to take avenge with Lord Krishna on Shalva's death. See how these demons are like they don't understand the supremacy of Lord Krishna. So many times in our lives also we do see there are so many examples. Yes, they are saying that Lord Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead, but still we do forget, isn't it? So, this particular episode exemplifies the intricate interconnectedness of relationships within the spiritual realm, underscoring the vital importance of community and mutual support among devotees. So, we devotees need to be together, isn't it? Yeah, that is a congregation and congregational chanting. It has been the Kali Yuga, dharma of Kali Yuga, isn't it? So, as this particular relationships, these are central to spiritual life in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So, the bonds of friendship, love, and loyalty illustrate the significance of community among practitioners. So, the community should follow friendships, love, and loyalty, dignity, isn't it? So that there can be fine texture of society. So Dantavakra's vow not only highlights the complexities of these relationships, but also reveals that the path of devotion is often fraught with such challenges, including the repercussions of enmity and the pursuit of revenge. So these are called as the cycles of violence, isn't it? So they are getting prayed. So yes, how is the nature of deception and illusion, and it has led to the death of Shalva, as we see, who was such a warrior and fighter, and who was bestowed with the Shobha flying ship, but still, all his flying ship it was. Shackled into pieces, and all these pieces they are dropped down in the sea, in the great ocean. And yeah, and Shalva jumps down, and he was attacked by Sudarshan Chakra of Lord Krishna. So the conclusion of this chapter is these thematic elements weave a rich and compelling accumulation that deepens our understanding of the spiritual narrative within this chapter. So, by reflecting on concepts such as deception, cheating, illusion, then devotion with Lord Krishna, the triumph of righteousness, uh, Krishna's transcendental nature, his supreme personality of Godhead, the significance of relationships, the relationships with Vaishnavas, and community, one gains profound insights into Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy and its application in daily lives. So each theme serves as an invitation to contemplate the nature of reality, the role of divine grace, and the eternal quest for truth and devotion. So with this particular chapter, so we got so philosophical insights so as to be successful on this particular spiritual path. And yes, I tried to a little bit in a hurry for this particular, as there were two chapters so as to cover up in this lesson. And yes, how okay, the conclusions. So they're drawn so nicely rather than just explaining the story of battle. Okay, so Prabhuji had the essence which has been drawn. And if we go through Bhagavatam, it is so we do get confused. You see, what are the takeaways from Srila Prabhupada also? So nicely
Prabhuji, no voice.
The internet problem.
Some issue must be there. Huh?
Internet. So I think she finished anyway the chapter.
Haribol.
Yeah. I
Yes,
think
Mataji, now able to hear, Mataji.
Yeah. So thank you, Prabhuji, with your kind wisdom and expertise in this particular spiritual and Shastra study. So thank you very much. And thank you for offering us such great sevas so as to serve you, Shri Prabhupada and Lord Krishna. Thank you, Haribol.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely explained. Thank you so much.
as always, Mataji, and great job.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, yeah, we got lights.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful explanation.
So it's open. It's open for discussion now. Any questions, comments? So while people are thinking, Srila Prabhuji, you want to take a stab at Haribol? Hello. While others are thinking, Sharad Prabhuji, you want to begin?
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you very much. Actually, all the intricate points they have been covered because they have been so nicely brought out in all these slides, and very important and critical points. There is nothing, and Mataji has presented so nicely. That's why all the devotees must be thinking what to question in this. So if there are no questions and there is a lot of time, I'll say something which I could not complete earlier. This is during the Radhashtami day. There are certain things about Radha which are less known or less understood as explained by our acharyas in the various scriptures. Now, regarding Radharani, you'll find the explanations in Garga Samhita and Brahmavaivarta Purana and some other Puranas. Now, I'll give the Vamsavali of Radharani, Radha's family tree, because we already know about Krishna, but very little may be known about Radharani. This I'll give you today. And surprisingly, this is given in Gaura Karnadas Deepika. Those who have studied it, they know it. On the Janmashtami day, in the morning, early in the morning means about 4:30 in the morning, Abhishek of Radha Krishna takes place in the temple that is in Parsana. And what happens in the evening, Radharani comes down under the umbrella. And there, the Vamsavali is given, that is incited. And this Vamsavali has been written by Kishori Das, and it is based on Gaura Ganades Deepika. And Kishori Das, he is from the Radhavallabh Sampradaya. And this Vamsavali, this is also recited in the Radhavallabh temple in Vrindavan. Now, what it says, the Soma Vansa, that is the Chandra Vansa, came from Surya Vansa, and the ancient king was Nepaji Maharaj. And next came Jupaji Maharaj, who was his son. And from him came Dayanidhi Maharaj. And from Dayanidhi Maharaj, Dharampir Maharaj. But Dharampir Maharaj had no children. That's why he came to Chakreshwar Mahadev area in the Giriraj temple, Giriraj mountain, and did penance for 13 years. And there, after 13 years, Lord Shiva, he came before him and told him that Radharani will be taking birth in his family. But he said that I do not have any children in my family. How can it happen? Lord Shiva said that okay, now a son will be born. Then what happened? Mahibhanji was born. Now Mahibhanji had 5 sons. His names were Suryabhan, Chandrabhan, Brisabhan, Dharmabhan, like this. And Brisabhan was in the middle. And Brisabhan Maharaj, he married the princess of Mukrai kingdom. Her name was Kirtida. And Kirtida's father was Indu Singh, and mother was Mukhara. And as you know, the first child of Vrishabhanu was Sridhama. Then, of course, Radharani, then youngest one, Subal. Now, Vrishabhanu, he wanted a daughter who can control Krishna. Then, for this reason, he went near the Jamuna river, near Shergad. Shergad is in the Tapovan area where the gopis had done the Katyayani Vrata. That is also now known as Chirghat. And there is one Katyayani Mandir in Vrindavan also, but that was established much later. The ancient one is in Tapovan or in Shergad. Now, what happened I am talking about Radharani's Vansa Parampara, and I spoke about Kirtida and Brisavanu Maharaj. In the Garga Samhita, it is given that Suchandra and Kalavati, they had appeared earlier. Now I'll clarify this point, then go further in the story. Now, when it comes to Suchandra and Kalavati, like in Bhagavatam also, we know that Drona and Dhara, they also appeared. But here we have to remember that what Jiva Goswami has made it very, very clear that like for Krishna, nobody can be the parents except Nanda and Yashoda. Then what about the Drona and Dhara like this? Or here Suchandra and Kalavati? Now Jiva Goswami says that when such descriptions are given, you have to understand in two ways. The one is like Suchandra and Kalavati. Suchandra, he merged himself into Brishabhanu Maharaj. That means there was Sayurja of Suchandra in Brishabhanu. And likewise, Kalavati's Sayurja was in Kirtida. Like this, it happens. And the other way is, one is Sayurja, and the other way, how this can happen is by becoming a Sakhi or a Sakha or a Dasi. Now, okay, we'll go further in the story. Now, Brishabhanu Maharaj wanted a daughter who could control Lord Krishna. Now, that's why Brishabhanu, he did this penance, and Katyayani, she came out and she said that you take Diksha from Kratu Muni, who is doing penance on the other side of Yamuna. And this story is given in the Brahmanda Purana. Now, when he went to Kratu Muni, he gave him initiation and gave him the Mahamantra. Now, this Mahamantra, it is of two types. One Mahamantra is, it starts from Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And the other Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Now, the one which starts with Hare Rama, that is given in the Kalisantarana Upanishad. And what is given in the Brahmanda Purana is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, that which we follow in ISKCON. Now, Brishabhanu Maharaj was given this mantra, that is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is from the Brahmanda Purana, which is as we recite Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. And he did japa with this mantra, and later on Radharani was born. Now please remember that this Mahamantra, it stays in three forms. What are the three forms of the Mahamantra? One is the Yugal Vilas, that is the Radha Krishna, they stay in this mantra. And the second is Mahaprabhu's Swarupa. Mahaprabhu means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, his own Swarupa is the Mahamantra. And third is Vrindavan Dham. Vrindavan Dham is the Swarupa of this Mahamantra. Then I'll go a little further because there is a lot of time today. Now, later on in the Bhagavatam, we will study how the Yaduvans, so that got destroyed by the curse of the rishis. That class I will be taking. Please remember that in that there are two persons who got left out, that did not get destroyed. That is, one was Vajranav, and the second was Uddhava. Now, the curse of the Brahmanas could not destroy them. Why? Because Uddhava, he was saved because of Krishna's sankalpa. And Vajranav, how he got saved? He was the son of Rochana and Aniruddha. Now, when the Brajavasis had gone to Dwarka, That time Rochana had served Radharani, and because of that, Radharani had given the benediction that the son which is in your womb, he will not get destroyed by the curse of the Brahmanas. Because of this, these two things, both of them got saved. Then later on, as you know, Arjuna brought the queens to Mathura, and thereafter, Vajranabha and Parikshit yes, Parikshit Maharaj, they came to Brajamandal, and at that time Brajamandal was totally empty. And they were trying to find out why no animals or birds or anybody, any individual is not there. They searched for that. Then around the area of the present day Gopeshwar Mahadev, they found one hut and they went there. There in that hut was staying a rishi whose name was Sandilya Muni. And as you know, Sandilya Muni was the Kulapurohit of Nanda Maharaj and the Prajavasis. Then they asked Sandilya Muni, what is the reason? This is dense forest, but in the forest we find the birds and animals, and in the villages we find the people, but here nobody is here. Where have they gone? Then what he told, he said, no one has come here and no one has gone from here. What actually has happened, he tried to make them understand that there are two types of leelas. We know that prakat and aprakat leela, and there are certain other terms also used for that. Prakat leela is the vyavaharik leela. It happens in a particular yuga or kala, and then after that it goes. But what happened in aprakat leela, or that is also known as nitya leela, in that what happens, the time is not applicable. Time cannot affect. That means what he was trying to say, that all the Brajavasis, Krishna, Radha, all the animals, the birds, insects, everybody, they have become aprakat. That is, they are here only, but they are not visible to anybody. I'll tell you what he told, how they can be visible. That will come later on. That means he told them that nobody had come, nobody has gone. They are here only, but they are not visible. The Radharani, the Krishna, the Brajavasis, everybody is living here in Vrindavana. But then they asked how we can see them. How can we have anubhuti of such things? Now, he said there are two things what can be done. One is you serve the Brajamandal. Serve means you serve the Yamuna, the Maharani, the kundas, the mountains, the trees, the shrubs which are here. And the second thing is hear about Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, Bhajarna, he started serving whatever had been told to him by Sandilya Muni, and all the old places which were associated of Krishna, they were discovered, they were developed, all these things took place. But when it came to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, he asked from whom to hear. Then he came to know that he can hear from Uddhava. But at that time they knew that Uddhava is in Uttarakhand, that is in Badrinath. But please remember that Uddhava, he stayed in two forms. One in there in Uttarakhand, and one in one form he stayed in Brajamandal also. And Bhajarna wanted to establish his kingdom in various places, and the verses are given in the Puranas also, like Govardhane दीर्घपुरे, मथुरायां महावने, नंदीग्रामे बृहत् स्थानो कार्यरिष्टा विशेषतो. Now what was told to him that establish your kingdom in Govardhan area. Govardhan, Dirghapur is Dig, what is known as Dig, or that area where Jadkhor is there. Then in Mathura, in Mahavan, in Nandagram, in Barsana, like this, and all the Leela Sthalis. And then, as you know, 16,100 queens, they also came back to Mathura, and they saw, what they saw, a very interesting thing in Brajamandal. They saw Yamuna Maharani, who was the fourth Patrani of Krishna. She was totally satisfied. She did not seem to be aggrieved by the departure of Krishna. And that's why these queens, they asked Yamuna Maharani, what was the reason for this? Thereafter, she told the thing why she was not grieving. The verses they are given in the Shastra. She said that what has been, what has happened. I have got the servitorship of Srimati Radharani, and I have become her dasi. And Radharani, she is the soul of Krishna, and because of that, I never miss Krishna anywhere. Then they said, how we can find Radha? And then they said, here Srimad Bhagavatam from Uddhava. Now, then how can Uddhava be found? As I said, in one form he stays in Vrindavan also. Now, in one Purana, there is a verse, it says that Govardhana Giri Nikate Sakhistale. Sakhistale is which place? Kusum Sarovar, which is in Vrindavan. There, he stays in the form of a tree or a shrub. And what happened? The Brajavasis, led by Bajarnava, they did a kirtan there. They did a kirtan, and in that kirtan, Uddhava, he came out from there and he met the Brajavasis, and everybody was happy. Then what Uddhava did, he gave the katha, that is the Bhagavat katha, but that was not of 7 days, it was of 30 days. And that is a Sattvic katha, that is in 30 days. And after that, everybody, they forgot about their miseries, and they realized that Krishna is here in Vrindavan. They realized his presence, and that is what is the importance of Vrindavan and of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why we should hear Srimad Bhagavatam from an authority, and with that, the separation, if some devotee is feeling separation from Krishna, that will go away, like what happened to the queens, what happened to Yamuna Maharani and all that. This is what I wanted to say. Anything you want to ask, you can ask me on these things, whatever I have said.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very wonderful Nectarian Katha. I just wanted to ask one question that we heard from the Srimad Bhagavatam that when Arjuna returned, he was coming back with the queens and some cowherd boys. They came and they abducted the queens. So exactly when did this happen? And if that had happened, then how did the queens come to Mathura?
Yes. It is from that Arjuna was bringing only, that story is correct. In between, what happened? One chap from the forest came and he defeated Arjuna. Actually, that was none other than Krishna only. And this thing happened. That story is correct. And that time they came to Mathura.
But they were abducted by the cowherd boys, and Arjuna returned and he cried and said that I could not save the queens. Like that, no, Prabhu? That's what is mentioned.
No. What happened in that story, Arjuna was defeated, but later on, and as I said, that person who defeated him was none other than Krishna only. And the queens, they came back. They did not vanish from there. They were there.
Okay, that means the cowherd boys brought them to Mathura. Is that correct, Prabhu?
No, that time
Or is it-
with them, others were also there. Na? The other, the queens were there. Bhajarnam was there. All of them were there. They were brought to Mathura, and this thing happened in Mathura. Then they heard the Srimad Bhagavatam, and as you saw, then they got enlightened by Uddhava Maharaj.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. That means Arjuna went back to Hastinapur and these people, they came to Mathura. Is it correct, Prabhu?
Yes. Or they would have gone to Hastinapur, they would have come back to Mathura, but finally all these things, they happened in Mathura. What story I told you.
Okay, Prabhu. I couldn't get the connection. That's why I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Any other question?
हरे कृष्णा
Yes.
प्रभु जी।
हाँ।
सो वंडरफुल स्टोरी प्रभु। इसके आगे भी थोड़ा ऐसा मैंने सुना था कि ये जो उद्धव जी ने सुनाया था वो परीक्षित महाराज ने पूरा ये अरेंज किया था। फिर परीक्षित महाराज जब भी बैठने लगे कथा सुनने में, तभी कल्ली का प्रवेश हो गया। और फिर उद्धव जी ने कहा कि आप जाओ, पहले ये संभालो अपना, बाद में आपके लिए स्पेशल कथा होगी।
नहीं, Parikshit Maharaj, in that Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj was not allowed to attend that. He did
हाँ
not
प्रभु।
attend. He did not hear the talk by Uddhava because he was sent to protect all the people who were hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and he was told that no, later on you will hear from Sukdev Goswami. He did not hear Srimad Bhagavatam there. So
Yes, Prabhu.
what we learn, the first Bhagavatam was explained by Uddhava in Vraja at Kusum Sarovar. The second one happened at that place near Haridwar by Sukdev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. That was the second. But normally people think that was the first time it happened, which is not correct. The first Bhagavad Katha took place in Braja only.
और प्रभु जी उससे भी पहले शिव जी ने पार्वती जी को बताया ना।
Yeah, all those things are there. Narad also heard. All these things are there. But in this material world, the first was held in Braja only. The second one by Parikshit Maharaj and Sukdev Goswami, that one, which we find the explanation in the Bhagavatam. Any other thing you want to ask on this, what we have spoken today? Okay.
मुझे थोड़ा शाल्व का बता दीजिए ना।
What?
अबाउट शाल्व थोड़ा सा।
About?
शाल्व।
Salva. About Salva, I have to think. Yes, there are more things I know, but at the present, I'll tell you sometime later. Okay. I hope I had suggested once all the devotees, please make a notebook or journal and note down in point form so that you can remember. I have got such things, and I have got the digital also in the computer. and that is actually very lengthy, about 400-500 pages. And it is very easy to find a thing if you remember. And in the notebook form also I have got, because everything actually we cannot remember and recollect at all the in all the points of time. And when it comes to your mind, you can refer and get the connections from there. If you are not doing,
Sure, Prabhuji. Sure, Prabhuji.
that will be very, very helpful. And
Prabhuji, I do note down, but it is not maintained properly. So there are so many notebooks and congregation lectures, festival lectures, our lectures do take the points, but it is not meticulously kept theme wise.
yes, what I suggest, if it is put in the digital form, then you can refer it to very easily, and you can find out by just typing a few words in it. And that is actually very, very the useful thing. And especially many verses, important verses we should remember from Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. And suddenly it may not occur in your mind, so that you just type a few words and it will come straight away. So these are some of the things I keep on doing. I thought I should share with everybody.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And many of the things I keep on listening to, so many things, and there are so many new things come up. You cannot remember in the mind. If you make notes and you see them, yes, then you recollect, yes, this is the thing. And also note the source of it, so that if you want to know more about that, the source can be referred that time also. And nowadays the computers are there, and digitally it is very, very easy. And the recent thing, AI, has come, and I hope the devotees, they are making use of the AI, artificial intelligence. That is very, very extremely useful. And many of the complex things you can search in that by asking questions, as once explained by Sanjeev Prabhuji. They are very, very useful tools. We should use them to the maximum for in this devotional service. It will help us. You will remember anything and everything, but be little careful. Check them and recheck them. Anything and everything they say and they are correct, that is not the thing. You have to check and recheck them. Okay.
प्रभुजी एक सवाल था प्रभुजी।
Yes,
प्रभुजी
yes.
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, और जो हम मंत्र बोलते हैं, वो उसमें दोनों में क्या फर्क है?
Actually, there is कोई फर्क नहीं है. There is no difference
हाँ,
whether you take the name of Rama in the beginning or Rama at the end. There is just no difference at all. But somehow one is given in the Upanishad, and Upanishad is a Vedic text. And for Vedic text, there are rules and regulations. Even though there in the Kalishantarana Upanishad, Brahmaji has said that there are no rules and regulations applicable to this. But still then, the Vedic mantras everybody cannot utter. But what is given in Brahmanda Purana, that has been taken by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from there. That is what we are reciting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Otherwise, in the two mantras, there is just no difference. If somebody else is like there are many sampradayas, they also recite this Hare Krishna Mahamantra with Hare Ram, that is in the beginning. We should not have any enmity with them. That is perfectly all right. One should follow the tradition of their own the path. There is no problem in that.
ओके प्रभुजी, थैंक यू सो मच।
Any other question on these things? But there is time, I can tell you something about okay, the Chandravansha and the Surya Vansha is given in Vishnu Purana. Now in Vishnu Purana, what is given, the solar dynasty, as you know, started from Vishnu, then Brahma, then Daksha Prajapati, Bhivaswan, and Bhivaswan's son was Manu. Manu had 10 sons, including Ikwaku, and in his dynasty came various great kings like Mandata, Trisanku, Harishchandra, Sagara, Bhagiratha, like this. Then later on, Dasratha, Rama, like this. All these kings there in the line of Surya Vansa. Then in the lunar dynasty, how it came, Vishnu, Brahma, Atri, Chandra, Buddha, Pururava, all these stories we have heard in Srimad Bhagavatam. And the lunar dynasty is actually more extensive than that of the solar dynasty. Therefore, in Bhagavatam, one verse comes in which Sukadeva Goswami, he says that I will give the details of the Chandravansha and Suryavansha respectively. And that means first was the lunar dynasty, that is the Chandravansha. And in this, the one branch was Pururava, his son Janu, then his son Gadi, who was Vishwamitra's father, like this. That means Vishwamitra was also from the Chandravansha, like this. And the Yaduvansha originated from this Chandravansha only. This Yadav Vansha to which Krishna belonged came from this. Then all these things they are given in the Shastra. And then in this Yaduvanshi, Vasudev Maharaj, he was born the father of one of the fathers of Krishna. Vasudeva's mother was Marisha, and Vasudeva's sister was Pritha, and Sruta Devi and Sutaswas. And because Pritha was given in adoption to Kunti Bhojo, she was later known as Kunti only. And it is known that the Pandavas were the sons of Kunti. Then her sister Srutadeva's son was Dantabakra. And the son of the other sister was Sisupala. And thus the Pandavas and Dantabakra, Sisupala, they are respectively sister's son. Like this, later on, Krishna's lineage continues with Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Vajranaga, then Pratibahu, Sucharu, like this. All these things, they are given in various places in the Purana. If you find them somewhere, please note them down so that they can be referred anytime you want them. I have finished. Any other question you want to ask on this? No questions. Any question on today's class? Next weekend, 2 classes by Santa Mataji, and thereafter 5 classes by Archana Mataji. Then my 4 classes will start. Prabhuji, I have finished, and there are no questions from the devotees.
And then we can conclude the class then.
Then we can conclude the class with the Nrsinga prayers.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Raksha Mataji, would you like to do Narasimha prayers?
ओके माता जी। हरे कृष्णा। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय हो। हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय हो। नमस्ते नरसिंहाय, नमस्ते नरसिंहाय, प्रह्लादलाददायिने, प्रह्लादलाददायिने, हिरण्यकशिपुर्वक्षः, हिरण्यकशिपुर्वक्षः, श्रीलटाकानखालये, श्रीलटाकानखालये, इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह, इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह, यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह, यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह, बहिर्नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह, बहिर्नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह, नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे, तव करकमलवरेणाः अतुत श्रृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गं केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय हो नरसिंहदेव, 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 जय हो नरसिंहदेव, जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज, जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज, जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद, जय जय गुरुदेव, 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 जय जय गुरुदेव, नित्य गौरा हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल। श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय हो। प्रहलाद महाराज की जय हो। सर्व डिवोटी की जय हो। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय हो। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपाद की जय हो। वंडरफुल क्लास माता जी, वंडरफुल एक्सप्लेनेशन शरद प्रभु जी, थैंक यू सो मच। नमस्कार प्रणाम टू ऑल डिवोटीज।
Thank you, Mata.
Mataji, for very nice
Thank
talk.
you. Thank you, Sarat Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Sarad
Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Chandra.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, and thank you, Mataji. Wonderful association. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Hari Bol.
Very cool, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.